with your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome into the Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 30 minutes and change. What a weekend we are coming off of in the sports world. Week 8 of the National Football League, week 9 of college football, games 1 and 2 of the World Series. Just so much going on in the sports world. I believe today is the day we hit the sports equinox. So every single professional sports league will be in play today because the National Hockey League's in week number 2, the NBA's in week number 1, and as we just mentioned, NFL week 8 and the World Series. 2 things we will talk about. A lot to go through. We're going to try and get through all of it. We'll give you a weekend recap in the National Football League and a weekend recap in the World Series. We'll get you ready for Monday Night Football tonight, Steelers versus the New York Football Giants, as well as Game 3 of the aforementioned World Series. I tell you all the time, get in on the action, The Rome Show 1. That's all the social media handles, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok. Follow us there. If you miss any part of the show, the replay plays on Dingo TV channel 217. Wow, just had a blank there for a quick second. That's at noon. And then we also have the podcast, The Rome Show podcast, wherever you get the pod. All right. We mentioned it was a weekend of wild, and we are going to start our recap in the National Football League. That is right. And we are going to go to Washington, D.C. because yesterday in D.C., Jaden Daniels did his best Doug Flutie impression, and the Washington Commanders came away with a victory. Check it out, 18-54. The Washington Commanders. The Commanders did not have an elite day offensively. I'm sure a lot of that had to do with the fact that no one was sure if Jaden Daniels was going to play in this game until about 2 hours before he was 21-38, 1 TD, 326 yards. Just tough day to get into the end zone for both teams. The Bears did not look very good in the first half. Looked a whole lot better in the second half, scoring all 15 of their points, but unfortunately not handling the Hail Mary to finish the game. Caleb Williams, 10-24, 131. DeAndre Swift had a day, 18 for 129 and 1 TD. The real story here was the second-year player Tyrique Stevenson for the Chicago Bears. There's video surfacing. I didn't get a chance to grab this one, but you can find it everywhere. There's video surfacing of Stevenson taunting Washington Commanders fans in the end zone prior to the Hail Mary being thrown. I'm just going to go back to the video really quickly just so you can see it. Yeah, the sports gods, they know, and they knew on this day. Commanders 6-2, Chicago Bears 4-3. The Eagles demolished the Bengals 37-17. That was behind a 27-7 second half. I've said this before on this show. I believe a lot of the National Football League falls into what coaches can make adjustments at halftime. I think that's the most important thing. Joe Burrow, day, 234, 1 TD, 1 interception. He was hitting Jamar Chase and Mike Gesicki all day long. Chase 54 receptions and a TD. Gesicki 73 yards and 7 receptions. On the Eagles side, Devonta Smith caught a really long 45-yard TD pass. Beautiful thrown ball by Jalen Hurts. Hurts did exactly what he needed to do on this day. He threw for 236 and 1 TD. Saquon handled the load on the ground, 22 carries, 108 yards, and the Eagles win 37-17. Their defense played really, really good. The Eagles moved to 5-2 now. half game behind the aforementioned Washington Commanders. The Bengals, 3-5, a far cry from their Super Bowl run just 3 years ago. My Miami Dolphins lost 28-7 on a walk-off field goal to the Cardinals, and here is what it looked like. When that field goal was kicked, as you see the replay up on the screen again. The Fins lose the game 28-27. Now, those that might not have been watching the Fins on this day might not know that there was a atrocious, I should say, and better grammar, atrocious snap from center to over Tua Tagovailoa's head that led to a fumble in the end zone, which was 2 points. Now, if I am reading this correctly and my simple math tells me, okay, you lose 28-27 and you don't give up 2 free points on a safety, you win 27-26. The Dolphins are 2-5. The Cardinals 4-4. I think the Dolphins season's over. Tua did look good, 28-38, 234, 1 TD. He ran and got down. It was awesome to see Devon Achane finally looking like himself. Raheem Mostert back to his last year waist, 19 yards but 2 TDs. However, again, the Cardinals come out on top. And this is the MO right now for the Arizona Cardinals. They scored 21 points in the second half, and that was the difference maker. Slow starts, hard finishes. They're going to have to figure that out long term. But hey, the Cardinals are 4-4, and this feels like in the last 5 years of Kyler Murray, maybe possibly the best team scenario, both sides of the ball that they have had for the Dolphins. Season probably over. We continue on in the National Football League, the Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV channel 217. The Browns 29, the Ravens 24. Jameis Winston did his thing, 27 of 41, 3 TDs. He looked like a legitimate quarterback. I've talked about this all the time. How do the Browns end up with those dudes on their roster and others can't figure it out? I have no idea. But the answer in Cleveland is not Deshaun Watson. I hope this proves it to everybody. Here is a little bit of Jameis Winston late TD magic for the victory for the Browns. And 2 touchdowns, that one being the most important because it gave the Browns a late lead. The Ravens always find a way to lose games like this. And by the way, this is the AFC North. Like, we talked about the NFC South last week, I think on Friday maybe, and how no matter the records, it's a knockdown, drag-out type situation. That is also the AFC North. So the Browns, no matter who was quarterbacking them, were probably going to fight the Ravens uncomfortably for this entire day. But the fact of the matter is, Deshaun Watson should no longer be the quarterback of the Browns. That's just a fact. The guy should probably not quarterback in the league anymore. Bottom line, bad guy. He's just not a good person. Okay, let's get that on the table. So for Cleveland, I hope this is a wake-up call. For the Ravens, they won 5 straight. Hey, these things happen. It's the National Football League. You're playing an in-division foe. So I think you got to get more from Derrick Henry. Only carried the ball 11 times. They did have a big collision. I don't know if that had to do with it. 73 yards, 1 TD. But I do think that workhorse, man, Lamar Jackson carried the rock 8 times. I don't think he should be at a 40% clip when Derrick Henry's at a 60% clip. I think that should be 75-25, a lot more of what was happening in the 5 wins in a row. Baltimore 5-3, Cleveland 2-6. The Lions routed the Titans. Not much to talk about here outside of special teams for the Lions were elite, and so was Jahmyr Gibbs. 11 carries, 127 yards, 1 TD. Jared Goff, I think, threw for 83 yards in this game, but 3 touchdowns. It was just a routing. Lions 6-1, Titans 1-6. The Patriots, that's right, the Patriots defeated the Jets late, 25-22. And here's what it looked like, ladies and gentlemen. 2 big plays for the Pats to get them this victory. First, this one right here on the goal line. It looks like the dude gets in. You'll see the replay 2 times here. I think the knee gets down before the ball crosses the goal line. one more look at it tight. So they deem that this is not a touchdown. And then Ramondre Stevie, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I just love it so much. Regardless of whether or not the Dolphins are good, it doesn't matter to me. Any team, if there's one team I kind of thoroughly enjoy watching be bad, it's the Jets. And even more so this year, because I don't know if Robert Saleh was the answer, but I don't also know if he was the problem either. I think you might have more of an issue, and it might come in the terms of number 8 and, the fact that you handed him the keys to the franchise. The aforementioned number 8, 17 of 28, 233, and 2 TDs, didn't throw an interception, but their offense just isn't great. And the Patriots, with a combination of Drake May and Jacoby Brissett, Drake May getting hurt, I believe, in this game, and the run game. The Patriots' run game is unfortunately the best attribute. So they ran for 111 combined yards and 31 attempts for 3 TDs. That's exactly what you need to happen. Then Jacoby Brissett threw the ball 24 times for 132. That's what needs to happen for the Patriots. They need to win games like this by 3, by 6, 22 to 18, 25 to 22. That's the only way they'll win games all year. And I don't think they're that good anyways. So this might be 2 of a total of 4. The Jets, on the other hand, have some serious questions to answer, and I think it starts in the quarterback room. You thought this would be the answer, but unfortunately it was not. The Chargers beat the Saints 26-8. Not a lot to talk about here outside the fact that the Saints have a quarterback issue. They went from Spencer Rattler to Jacob Hayner. Either way, they couldn't put a touchdown on the board. They scored 2 and then 3 and then 3. Justin Herbert looked really good in this game. 20 of 32, 279 and 2 TDs. McConkey was his leading receiver, 111 and 2 touchdowns. The Chargers now 4-3. The Saints 2-6. 6 straight losses after a 2-0 start for New Orleans. The Bills routed the Seahawks at home, meaning in Seattle for the Seahawks. Seahawks moved to 4-4. Bills 6-2. The Seahawks actually had like a fight on the sidelines. I think it was 2 of their defensive players on the sidelines. I have no clue. Either way, Josh Allen was elite in this game as he is, -1 turnover, 24 of 34, 283 and 2 TDs. James Cook, 17 carries, 111 yards, 2 TDs. Kareem Shakur, 9 receptions, 107 yards. A great day for the Bills. Arguably, I think, their best day all season. The Texans defeat the Colts 23-20. CJ Stroud, 25 of 37, 285 and 1 TD. Other side, Anthony Richardson took himself out of the game for a play. Essentially, it's been a big controversy. Thought he got hurt. According to what you're hearing, he was just a little tired, and I have no clue. Either way, he's not good. He was 10 of 32 for 175, a TD and an interception. Like, he's not good. Like, Indianapolis, play Joe Flacco. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but that's your option or your chance to win games. Either way, they lose. They move to 4-4. The Texans 6-2. Bad news here, though, for Stephon Diggs. A non-contact football injury had him out of this contest. The Falcons defeat the Bucks. The Bucks don't have many receivers. Baker throws for 330 and 3 TDs, but unfortunately, Kirk Cousins 276 and 4 TDs out trumps. Now the Falcons lead the NFC South 5-3, and the Bucks are 4-4. A few more to finish up here. The Broncos defeat the Panthers 28-14. Bo Nix, best game of his NFL career, 28 of 37, 284 and 3 TDs. The Broncos 5-3. The Panthers really bad, 1-7. Bryce Young started in this game. Looked like the reason why they benched him. He did throw 2 TDs, but he did have 2 interceptions. At the end of the day, the team's just not good enough, and I do think they're also going to need another quarterback. Bryce Young will play for somebody else next year. The Chiefs, they beat the Raiders. Patrick Mahomes is not having a good season. Here's a statistic for you. Let's go ahead and hit the stats button. Okay, Patty Mahomes, he's thrown 7 straight weeks of interceptions. Okay, 1+ interception in 7 straight weeks. That's the most in a span in a row since 2021, September 26th to November 17th. Hey, but by the way, the last time Patty Mahomes had a streak of 7 straight games with an interception, You know what they did in 2021? Oh, that's right. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So if there's any indicator of whether or not Patrick Mahomes throwing interceptions is a problem, just look at history. And history tells you it's a good thing for the Chiefs. And by the way, they're 7-0. So clearly the recipe in Kansas City is have a mediocre offense and have really okay quarterback play for a little bit, and then he becomes the greatest quarterback to ever play the game the last 10 weeks of the year and the playoffs, and you go ahead and you figure it out. Chiefs 7-0, Raiders still figuring it out, 2-6. They just don't have a QB/weapons. It's just a mix of everything on offense. They just need to retool that franchise. The 49ers held off the Cowboys yesterday. I don't think Dak Prescott's very good. He threw 2 picks yesterday that were atrocious and not worth the money he's getting paid. 25 at 38, 243, 2 TD, 2 interception. They can't run the rock. They're the worst running team in the National Football League, the Cowboys, 77 yards per game. Where on the flip side, the 49ers keep getting everybody injured, including in the running back room, and then they bring out these guys who you've never heard of. Isaac Guerendo, 14 carries, 85 yards, and a TD. Like, what? Brock Purdy had his best day of the year so far, 18 of 26, 260, and 1 TD. Deebo Samuel was struggling all day. Some rib injury, coming back from sickness. George Kittle showed up and did what George Kittle needed to do for this team. 6 receptions, 128 yards, and 1 TD. San Fran moves to 4-4, while Dallas drops to 3-4, and that division becomes a whole lot harder to win as the Commanders continue to move forward. And finally, the last walk-off of the day. There were 5 games that had a score in the final minute that resulted in a victory. And here is the final one. The Go Pack Go defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their coach might get fired soon. 30-27 on this goal opportunity. That's right. I didn't say Jordan Love. I said Malik Willis. Jordan Love got hurt. And now Malik Willis, competent backup. Oh my God. Look at that. There is the game-winning field goal. And hey, who would have thunk it? I didn't think it, and I stand corrected, and that's fine. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I didn't think the Packers would be this good. But they are. They figured it out, and the Packers are 6-2, and the Jags are now 2-6, and it doesn't look good in Jacksonville. Just to finish, Jordan Love had 196 yards and an interception before Malik Willis was put in. It was after a hit to Jordan Love. Malik Willis, 4 of 5, 56 yards and a TD. So safe to say, him getting out of Tennessee was probably the best move, and I wonder what happens the remainder of this year. 1, Jordan Love seriously injury prone. So then 2, does Malik Willis play more this year? And then 3, this is a guy that teams are going to want to go after in the offseason, and maybe could be somebody that could be a franchise quarterback the rest of his career, which is why he was drafted in the first place by the Titans. That's your Sunday NFL Week 8 rundown. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Come back after that commercial break. We got the World Series. That's right. I want to show you what happened in games 1 and 2 and give you my prediction for tonight, plus Monday Night Football, Steelers versus Giants. The Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV channel 217.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Yeah, it's the Rome Show. 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV channel 217. Andrew Romanella. 7 to 8 minutes left in this program. The Rome Show on Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, Facebook. Follow us everywhere. Be electric. Be electric. This is the only thing I got to tell you. All right, let's talk World Series. Game 3 tonight. Yankees versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are up in this series 2-0, and it has been an interesting way that we have gotten there. Let's revisit the storylines, and boy, were they fun. First, in game number 1, Freddie Freeman comes up with the bases loaded, and he does this. Second and third, 2 outs, with the game-winning run now on third base. And I get that changes the scenario. Pass ball, bad pitch in the dirt could be a victory for the Dodgers. But at the end of the day, Nestor Cortez had an out before Freddie Freeman. They decide to walk Mookie Betts. They go lefty v lefty, and that's what happens. I mean, that is what happens in baseball. Right? Those are the moments we all look back on and we're like, that was one of the coolest moments in history. And by the way, that was the most watched World Series game, 15.2 million viewers since 2017. So really important for Major League Baseball, and awesome stuff for Freddie Freeman, who could be one of my favorite people in Major League Baseball. Well, he wasn't done, nor was Teoscar Hernandez, who put together an at-bat prior to Freddie Freeman's at-bat in the third inning of Game 2 of the World Series, and this is essentially what won it offensively for the Dodgers. Also, low-key fire. Did you hear the Batman theme song in the background when he hits a homer? So Freddie Freeman has been a huge piece to leading the Dodgers to a 2-0 series lead. Now we get to tonight, with which we have Walker Buehler versus Clarke Schmidt on the hill. The Yankees in the Bronx, 8:08 p.m., looking to salvage the first game of their home part of this series. Now, the old adage goes, you have not lost the series until you lose a game at home, or the series hasn't started till you lose a game at home. I think it's like that. At the end of the day, it all means the same thing. Don't lose at home. If you don't lose at home, you always have a chance in the series until Game 7, with which, if you're the Yankees, you'd have to win on the road. Whereas if you're the Dodgers and you just kept winning at home, you'd win the series in 7. So the Yankees have to protect the Bronx. And if they protect the Bronx on Game 1 in the Bronx, Game 3 overall in the series, they really could shift the momentum. And the momentum in baseball is only as good as your next day's starting pitcher, okay? So tonight, the Yankees have the advantage. Walker Buehler, on paper, long-term, probably the better pitcher. In the current moment, Clarke Schmidt, probably the better pitcher. And usually, you're riding the momentum of the arm on the hill. Now, that means absolutely nothing. Walker Buehler could come out tonight and be the elite-level Cy Young candidate Walker Buehler that we've become to know in Major League Baseball. At the end of the day, momentum, the series shift, only as good as your next day's starting pitcher. So it comes down to these two to set the tone. And can Aaron Judge and the Yankees offense do more, do enough, man? Like, some at-bats you're watching from this team just aren't very good. And those things can't happen. You can't have bases loaded, 1 out, with a chance to break into the lead in game number 2, and you only score 1 run. You score 1 run, 4-2, bases loaded. You're like, all right, we could tie this thing. We got Volpe up, 1 out, K, and then first pitch out, game over. That just can't happen in those moments. Can't be leaving those types of runners on base. Someone's got to come through in those moments for the Yankees. So game 3 tonight, we'll see what happens. Oh, you were wondering what I'm going to be picking? Got it. We'll do our daily bananas. Dun, dun, da. All right. I had a terrible Friday. I was 0-3. We're not going to talk about it. We're just going to move forward. Tonight, I am going National Football League. It's so funny. I'm really good, I think at least, at coaching baseball or baseball in general. But when it comes to picking it on the bananas, I'm atrocious. So I'm sticking with football, which has been a big winner for me. I'm 124 and 100 overall in the year 2024. That's a positive thing. Let's keep that train moving. Tonight, Steelers. Right now, the line is moved to -6. Last night when I did this, it was -5.5. I'll still take them at the -6. They're at home against a lowly Giants offense, and I think Russell Wilson's going to have a really nice day for the Steelers. So give me the Steelers as the line has moved, -6. The total in this game has stayed since I saw it last night at 36.5. I'm going to take the over. I think the Giants can score 10 to 14 points, maybe. And I think the Steelers are going to score 21 to 27. I think there's going to be a real chance here that it goes over the 36.5. Plus, life's too short to bet the under. Jaylen Warren, I'm going to take him at over 13.5 receiving yards. Najee Harris has been running the rock really well for the Steelers, but Jaylen Warren has been a really nice change of pace, except for the receptions, and at least I think he can get 2 for 20. So Jaylen Warren over 13.5 receptions, total of the game over 36.5, and the Steelers at the -5.5 if it's on FanDuel book or ESPN bets -6, either one. I'll take it at either on that spread, and that's the Rome Show here, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217. If you missed anything, get the replay on Dingo at noon or the podcast wherever you get your podcast. Just search the Rome Show podcast. I'm Andrew Romanello reminding you to be electric today. RomeShowShop.com saying peace.
Thank you for listening.